How many of you have heard of the hero's journey? Very many? Great. The hero's journey is a pattern of stories, and the common pattern is that in ancient myths as well as modern day adventures, the concept of the hero's journey is that heroes go through stages, that each hero story involves specific stages along the way. The concept of the hero's journey was described by mythologist Joseph Campbell in his book, A Hero with a Thousand Faces. And as I mentioned, there are a number of stages to the journey, but for our time today, I've boiled it down to 3 stages. And I've taken the liberties to make some comparisons based on language we use in McKinney-Vento. So stage 1, the departure. The hero leaves the familiar world behind. Campbell calls it a call to adventure, but it's not a fun adventure. It often involves movement from calm and known into an unknown. In McKinney, we often refer to this from stability to crisis. The second stage of our hero's journey looks at initiation. The hero learns to navigate the unfamiliar world of adventure, if you will. McKinney, we talk about crisis, mobility, trials, uncertainty, barriers, and thresholds. Stage 3 is the return. The hero returns to the familiar world, but moving from crisis into triumph. And it's both an external and an internal triumph. Now, quintessential to every hero's journey is the meeting of the mentor. The mentor arrives to equip and empower the hero with confidence, insight, training, or special tools to cross the thresholds and barriers. In this journey, the mentor empowers the hero by offering 2 simple but profound truths. The mentor not only shows the way, but shows that there is a way. Now that might seem obvious, but oftentimes the first step in finding the way is knowing there is one. Mentors to ease our fears by assuring us that there's a way through, no matter how obscure or unclear it may seem. Truth number 2, the mentor believes in us more than we believe in ourselves. When we think of mentors, it's easy to think of an old sage who invests countless hours into teaching and training of a young disciple. But the mentor also might be a familiar face with a gentle reminder just to persevere. Mentors are there to help us and to help heroes reach within ourselves to find strength and courage and wisdom. Wisdom we didn't even know that we had. Mentors are a vital piece to the hero's journey, and you can see the hero's journey, once you become aware of it, in many Hollywood films and in many stories of real-life heroes that are famous to us. So I want to test this out a little bit, and I want to keep you engaged this morning by going through a couple of hero stories to see if you can help me name the mentor. So we have Luke Skywalker. Who was Luke Skywalker's mentor?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Now, Luke also had another mentor, which was Yoda, but I have a couple of wise guys on my board, and I wanted to steer clear of Yoda because, you know, the obvious height comparisons might be a little too much for them to ignore. How about Karate Kid? Mr. Miyagi, good. Mr. Miyagi was the mentor for the Karate Kid. He helped him to reach inside himself. How about the Matrix? Say it louder, I think I heard it. Morpheus, nice job from our students who knew the Matrix. Great job, Morpheus. Morpheus is the mentor to Neo in the Matrix. Harry Potter. Dumbledore, exactly, Professor Dumbledore. Now let's go from the theoretical to the actual, and let's go old school. We are going to start with the mentor, and let's see if you know your history. Socrates mentored who?
Plato.
Nice, also from our students, very good. Plato mentored Aristotle, very good, good crew. Oprah. As we talk about these next mentors, I want to see if you guys recognize a theme as they talk about their mentors. Oprah, one of the defining moments of my life came in the 4th grade, the year I was Mrs. Duncan's student. What Mrs. Duncan did for me was to help me not to be afraid of being smart. She encouraged me to read, and she often stayed after school to work with me, helping me to choose books and letting me to help her grade her papers. For many years after that, I had one goal, that I would one day become a 4th grade teacher who would win the teacher award, because I was going to be the best teacher anyone had ever seen. Little did Oprah know that that 4th grade classroom would expand exponentially, right? Oprah also talks about Maya Angelou being a mentor to her. Maya Angelou credits her teacher, who is Mrs. Flowers, who took her to the library and got her interested in poetry and books and learning. Walter Cronkite says that his teacher taught him through his high school classes, helped him to get early jobs, that his educator is really his inspiration. And without his educator, he would not be where he was today. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Sonia credits her mother with instilling educational values for her and her brother, and the importance of learning and books and graduating. Helen Keller. Who is Helen Keller's mentor? She's a famous one. Anne Sullivan. You guys cheated by looking at the slides, but I have to tell you, it's becoming a little bit of a challenge because what didn't happen during rehearsal is that I had lights in my eyes and it looks like I'm staring at the sun right now. So it's always good to practice what you're going to say. Mother Teresa. I couldn't find information on who Mother Teresa's mentor, but I found scores of people whose Mother Teresa mentored. And I alone can't change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. Do you see a common theme? Educators. Educators were common to those heroes that we just talked about. Teachers, other educators, mothers who instilled education. And that is why this brings us full circle to the conference today and the importance of this conference. I believe in the hero's journey because I see 23,680 heroes in Colorado each year. In fact, our full team does. And we see 1 million of them, 1.2 million nationwide. Our McKinney students are our true life heroes and in various phases of their hero's journey. Fundamental to McKinney-Vento homeless education is the recognition that mentors are essential. You can see this as we look at our liaisons in K through 12. Liaisons, right? How many in here? Liaisons? Great. Our single points of contact in higher education. Well, yeah, okay, we got some Spocks in the room. Whenever we talk about Spocks in Colorado, we always do this, so that they kind of love that. The Spock signal, for those of you not aware of that. How about our state coordinators? Nice. See, state coordinators, kind of a loud group. And our state, local, and federal agency partners. Great, good. For me, my mentor was my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Nixick. She taught me, as well as a woman who I still affectionately call Reverend Betty, who was my reverend growing up. They taught me that in a small town, a young woman can have a voice and can follow her path, and I will forever be grateful to them. I'd like for you to take a minute at your seats and share with your neighbors someone who is a mentor in your life. And then I would like for you to share with them one of your hero students who you worked with.
You gotta talk. You gotta talk. All right, talk to me.
The mentor in my life was way back. It was really bad. So serious.
Your dad gonna be mad.
The mentor in my life was my father. My father.
Okay.
And my mother.
Was it amazing to think about the mentor in your life? Yeah? I'm gonna pull you back now. I know you want to keep talking about your mentors and heroes, but they've only given me 15 minutes. If you can hear the sound of my voice, please raise your hand. If you can hear the sound of my voice, please raise your hand. You know, Pat Pop taught me that, and I think that's one of the best vehicles I use as we bring crowds back together. I came from a shouting family in Western Pennsylvania, so you're really glad I didn't say, hey. What did you think? I mean, does it invoke emotion as you talk about your mentor that came in to help you with your own journey? Is it wonderful to talk about your student heroes and share? Let's face it. It is hard being out there as adult mentors, right? It is hard. It often feels like you're alone. You often feel tired. Sometimes it can be exhilarating, and you want to be around people who get it, don't you? You want to be with people that you can share and that knows the shorthand of the struggles that you're going through as you're trying your best to be a mentor to the heroes that we work with every day. And as critical as the mentor is in the journey of the hero, nowhere in my research around the hero's journey does it talk about the place where the mentors go to recharge. And that is what is so exciting about this conference, because NAEHCY is that place. NAEHCY is the place where you, the mentors, come to share stories of triumph and heartbreak sometimes, to recharge, to laugh, and let's face it, to vent sometimes, right? Because we got to get it out, to learn, to celebrate, and most importantly, to honor our heroes. And so take this time, take the next few days, go to breakout sessions, talk with people, learn from one another, share new paths that heroes have been on that you didn't even know existed. Talk about the paths that we need our heroes to steer clear of. Buy someone breakfast, buy them lunch, buy them a drink. This is your time, and by drink, let's see if it'll pull up here. It doesn't pull up. I had a glass of milk. So see, you should be buying somebody some other kind of drink because my milk slide isn't working. So much for my jokes. Not so funny when I have to explain them. And soak up all the wisdom and the experience and the inspiration that your fellow NAEHCY members have to offer. Because we have more than 1.2 million heroes back at home relying on us. And they need us to be our best when we leave here so that they can be their best. Look, milk, there you are. Speaking of heroes at their best, you are going to meet 15 heroes this afternoon who are going to bravely share their journeys during our NAEHCY Scholarship Reception. This is the first time we have had this ceremony during the day, but it's so vital that we wanted the full membership to be a part of it. So bring your tissues and get ready to be inspired. It's most people's favorite part of the day, and hopefully if I can get the milk slide off, there we go. There's our number of heroes across the nation. And the last slide was that the ceremony starts at 11:30 today in this room after your breakout. So on behalf of those amazing students that you work with each day, thank you for being the Oprahs and the Obi-Wans in their world. It is an honor to be a part of this work with you and to grow this organization and its programs so we can expand our reach and impact. Rock on, fellow mentors, and have a great time.